Good morning. I am out today, but I wanted us to continue on with our lessons about scatter plots. So you have this video. I will be in later this afternoon. You could see me during lunch if you have questions, or tomorrow during class or home base. So there aren't any notes to take today because the substitute's going to give you a handout with the notes, and I'm going to do a problem from your homework with you on this video. Here are the homework answers. You can see here's the scatter plot you should have made. Remember, when it asks for the shape, it's asking me for linear, nonlinear, positive, negative. So this is a positive because as it goes up, it's a curve, so it's nonlinear. There's a cluster down here. So they said between 1 and 3. And there's one outlier, this point over here. So here's your cluster, and here's the outlier. If you look at number 3, again, we make our scatter plot. It shows a positive linear. It's not exactly linear, but I could approximate that data with that straight line. And there is no clusters or outliers. And if I continued that line that I drew until about 60 minutes, it would be about, they said 98, somewhere around 100. Number 5 is positive. 10 would be positive. 11 would be no association. It's kind of all over the place. That's a messy A. 13, it's increasing both times. As X increases, Y increases. And 14, there's our scatter plot. As Franco buys more fruit, he spends more money. So here's the handout you have. We were reviewing, if I have 2 points, how to find the slope, that B is y-intercept, that I can write y equals mx plus b. Point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. If you know the slope and the y-intercept, I can just substitute into y equals mx plus b. If I know a point in the slope, I substitute into point slope form. If I know 2 points, I need to first find the slope and then do that. So I am going to do the first problem on your homework that you have tonight. That way you can use this as an example. I want to point out that your homework tonight asks you for the answer in point slope as well as slope intercept form. So your homework tonight is the side called homework. The skills side is what we will be doing tomorrow in class. So number 1 says that it goes to the point -5, 6, and has a slope of 3. So in -5, 6, first number is always x, so that's x1. Second number is always y, so that's y1. So I use the equation y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. I'm going to substitute. Slope is always m. So this is y minus 6 equals 3 times x minus -5. Minus minus is a plus. This is my answer in slope-intercept form. So, I'm sorry, point slope form, not slope-intercept form, point slope. I now need to do slope-intercept form, which slope-intercept form looks like y equals mx plus b. So I need to make this be y equals mx plus b. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute that 3. So that gives me 3x plus 15. I now need to get y alone, so the opposite of minus 6 is add 6. And I get y equals 3x plus 21. Those are the 2 answers to number 1. I'm going to do one more for you, and that's going to be number 5. So number 5 gives me 1, -1, and 2, 0. So the first thing I need to do is I need to find the slope. So I can find the slope by using the equation y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And this would be x1, y1, x2, y2. So that is 0 minus negative 1 over 2 minus 1, which gives me 1 over 1. Sorry, I wrote 2, which equals 1. Now when I do point slope, I start with y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And it really doesn't matter which one I use as x1, y1. I could use either. So it's going to be y minus negative 1 equals 1, because that's my slope, times x minus 1. Minus minus is a plus, and that is my answer in point slope. I could use the other point. Y minus 0 equals 1 times x minus 2. That would be my answer in point slope form. Now for slope intercept, I need to make them both y equals. Again, you only need to do one or the other. If I start with this one, I start by distributing. I get x minus 2. I then add 0, or recognize that y minus 0 is still just y, and I get y equals x minus 2. You will see that when I simplify this one, y plus 1 equals x minus 1, because I distribute the 1, subtract 1, I get the exact same answer. That is my slope intercept. So your homework is to finish the front, the side called homework, and I will see you tomorrow.